Dumelango Haye and welcome to Mjolo with Refilwe. My name is Refilwe, bringing you today's installment, and we're talking about all things Love is Blind, as well as labels around Mjolo. You know, do people still go for their types? You know, are yellow bones? Do yellow bones make better girlfriends than others? And people who are dating on the spectrum in terms of, you know, queerness. You know, does it matter which orientation you are? I'm joined in studio by Donwell as well as Akwaba. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And now I want to find out, you know, how with your relationships that you've been going through, how close to your type do you stay? Or do you always find yourself that, I always date the same type of person?
It's for me.
Yeah.
I always date the same type of person. I'm a transgender man, so normally I'm a lesbians, and these lesbians, they are not just lesbians. I'm sure in the lesbian world, there's this thing they call a butch and a fooch, and a butch is someone who dresses like a man and behaves like a man, and a fooch is someone that dresses sometimes like a woman, sometimes like a man.
Okay.
A tomboyish, somebody like that. So as for me, I've been dating fooch. Sometimes they are girlish, sometimes
they are boyish.
Yes.
Okay, and do you always believe that, you know, the labels help? Because could you be restricting yourself in getting to know other types of orientations? Because I know there's butch and fooch, but there are many other in between, right?
Yes.
Do you feel like that doesn't limit you in terms of choice, or?
As for me, that doesn't limit me. And I don't date for labels. It's just something that I just discovered myself that, okay, I've been interested in such, but I don't get limited because of the way they label themselves. I always tell people that when I date a human being, not what you have, not how you dress, not how you walk. I date a human being. So that's me.
Okay. Akwaba, what is your feeling about dating your type? And does your type look a certain way?
Okay, with my type, I will not say it looks a certain way because I get attracted to you, but not with your looks. I can look at you and admire your looks, but for me to be actually in a relationship, I have to gel with you through our conversations and stuff. Even if you looked good, but if you're not making me feel that we can have like a flowing conversation, then for me it's a no. It has to be like I must be able to communicate with you, and I always prioritize happiness in a relationship. So even if your looks are too good for me, and you are not having a good personality, then it doesn't count. So I will not label myself as somebody who goes for looks, because sometimes if I introduce my partner, you'll be like, no, this is not your type, but I don't know what is a type, because for me, a type is someone that makes me happy.
Okay, a type is someone that makes you happy. That's for me, that's simple and pure. And I think I admire that, because, you know, I don't know if you've had an experience where somebody has told you that maybe you are not their type. Have you? And how have you responded to that?
I have not been exposed to that. What would happen is that I would be lucky that, or maybe fortunate or unlucky, I don't know, but I'll date somebody that is really like lookable when it comes to the labeling of people.
Yeah.
So I would be feeling less confident about my body and my size of the body, and I would be like, no, I can't do this. And then my partner would be like, your body is beautiful. Like I remember when we went to the beach, I didn't want to take off the net. He's like, no, take off the net. I want to see you in a bikini because of your body looks beautiful. Take that thing off. So for me, like she made me like to gain like confidence.
Nice,
yes.
nice. I love that. And what do you think? You know, because now the world is always geared according to looks, and there's this sort of like, if you look at social media alone, there's this sort of stereotype of, you know, a person must be light in skin color. We've got now this rising spate of BBL. They must have a small waist and a big bum, and you know. So why do you think that is? In a world where like people come in all shapes and sizes, don't know?
I think that happens because of peer pressure. Maybe when I go out, I always chill with friends, batandana na yellow pony, all those stuff. So definitely to me, I'll be telling myself, let me get one for myself. And to my surprise, I can give an example with one of my friends. They were dating this yellow bone, and when they went home, the time they were getting naked, when they were
about
to do it, there was a different person. Because the makeup and everything, the time that the makeup was gone, she was so different from the person that he met. So then he was like calling me, buddy, I don't know what to do. And you know what? My feelings are just off. You understand? So as for me, I believe in human beings, like I said, because if I get married to you today, you are slender and you have got a flat tummy, then you give birth. Then the tummy is not going back to the normality of it.
Because it's nature.
It's nature, you understand? Maybe you start gaining weight. That means I'll get bored. Every time when I see you, I'll see a different person. So if you go for the looks and for the whatever it is, if that looks disappear, then the relationship is no longer valid. That's how I did my own research, because that's why so many marriages are not lasting, because of that. The moment that that person changes from the thing that you were looking for, it's a turn off on its own.
Hold it right there, Donnell. You've heard for yourself. I just want to take a quick break, and when we come back, I will be asking Akwaba the same question I asked, just to find out exactly why is it that people always gravitate to this one type of look, emjolweni. Don't go away. Welcome back to Mjolo with Refile, talking all things types, and is love really blind in a world where everybody wants to look a certain way in order to gain them attractive? Now, Akwaba, earlier we spoke about, an incident where you said, you were feeling not so secure to, really show yourself at the beach. Now, do you think our partners contribute to our insecurity, or that it's things that, we have to deal with by ourselves before, you date somebody?
I honestly think it touches both, but your partner does contribute to your insecurities. For instance, with my partner, I would see girls approaching her, and I would see that they approaching her in an inappropriate manner. But I will always tell my partner that I will not mind that they approaching you. What I'm concerned about is how you react to that interaction, because I will not have control to stop them approaching
from coming
you.
to you. You are an attractive person yourself.
Yes. So if they come to you, it is you that has to deal with it, and then I'll be looking at how you respond to that. So they do bring insecurities and they do build them. Like for instance, if you make me feel secure around you, then I will not follow you to the bathroom if we're out. I'll let you go to the bathroom alone, because I know that we have built that trust, that security, that you can go to the bathroom, there's nothing going to do in the bathroom, not going to meet another person or stuff. So for me, my partner, I think, do contribute a lot to securities, because even if I'm feeling insecure, it will be my partner that made me to feel like that, because of what they did. And maybe when I wanted explanation on that, there was defensive responses, not explanations, because sometimes we fail to explain and to defend ourselves. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to play devil's advocate now, because you are saying that sometimes it's them, sometimes it's you. But let's say now we were to take the fact that if you take the looks element away and you focus only on the internal person, then why is it that, even before, people get intimate or whatever, there's always that little bit of worry or is how I look okay? If we are saying that looks don't really matter.
Okay, also, I think it's also coming from you believing in yourself. So if you first don't think that you are beautiful, your partner has to remind you that you look beautiful. Because for instance, mina mangambe nomuntu wami, I like ukuthi mangiphumile angiphuza utshwala mara mangiphumile ngifuna ukuthi ngijive. So uzothi kumi baby, don't dance too much. Because of manje labantu bakubhekile and ngiyabona bayakufuna ngicela uhlale phansi. So ngibona ukuthi okay naye kanti mina ngisidudla so ngimenza insecure. Yabo, so we talk about that ngihlale phansi and then sibe right. Yabona, so I think it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
Okay, and then don't know. Now coming into, you spoke earlier about different orientations. Do people, really do a good job in qualifying their partners? Like if you spoke to somebody and you've never met them physically, maybe you met online and and then when they show up and then they don't look like the person that you imagined or you saw on their display picture or whatever, maybe they had a dog on their display picture. Is that conversation enough to sustain you getting to know the person more? Or the fact that you're like, they don't look like how I went will turn you off?
As for me, I met my wife on Facebook. Yeah, and my wife to be, I just engaged last week.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
So as for me, I met her on Facebook, and compared to the way that the pictures that she was posting and the time that I met her in person, it was a little bit different, but I could see this is the same person. But it never turned me off.
So what was different per se?
Like I'm sure there's these applications that are
filters. Oh yes, yes.
So obviously when I'm posting something on social media, I'll be using filters. 3/4 of us, I'm sure you look for your best picture to post. So sometimes how I look on the picture it's not the same as how I look in person. So for me, it was not a turn off. Like I told you, I don't go for looks. I go for something that is inside your heart.
I want us to, talk particularly to our young viewers because, we've sort of, toughened up, if I can say so, because the world didn't always become like this, right? Yes. Growing up, I mean, even dolls to play with, you didn't get of all the orientations, on the queer spectrum. You didn't get all the complexion, like beauty comes in all shades. And then they've got beauty standards that they hold on to. We've had to sort of find ourselves. But now, what do you say to our younger viewer who's saying that, I need to, not show my natural hair because it will make me less attractive. I need frontal, That's like the new buzz thing now. If you don't have a frontal weave, then you're out of umjolo because you are deemed as, number one, less desirable. Number two, you don't even have the money to sustain your looks, things like that. What have you got to say to our younger viewers, Akwaba?
I'd say the way they see things on social media is not what actually happens. Especially as you're growing older, you see that the decision I made at 17 years, I wouldn't have made it if I were to make that decision today. So I got to understand that people are interested in different shapes. Not everyone is going for yellow bones. Not everyone is going for slim ladies. There are people that are just interested to plus size women. And you know for sure that those are their types. Even if you look back like through their line of their exes, you can see that all the exes were plus size, or all the exes were slim. So they shouldn't look at their looks because looks can fade away. Because you can be involved in a car accident, unfortunate event, whereby now you lose your eyes. What do you do with that person? Yeah. So with me, I would say like that. Even with the question that you asked from Donald about meeting somebody from
let's say you social media and you are, because some social medias have display pictures, but some of them you are just chatting, for example, or somebody refers you and you just completely talking to this person. And then you set up a date, and then when they come, you're like, I thought they were taller, I thought they were slimmer. Now what?
That's why I think now, if you plan to meet somebody from social media, you should check your conversation, not the looks, because of the filters. You should understand that, like, even you yourself, you post the best. You must know that the other person also posts the best. Look at the pictures that you post and say, can this person see me through these pictures, or they only going to see me like in real life?
Yeah.
So big pictures on social media are always like the second, I don't know, the second base thing or what, but check it on your conversation.
They're not a priority.
Yes, they're not a priority.
Okay.
So look at the conversation. Am I able to communicate with this person? Am I free to tell them that I cannot talk to you now, I'm busy? Like, understand the person through your conversation, even before meeting them. And if your conversation is still flowing, even after meeting or during the meeting, then you should keep the person. You shouldn't go like to the looks.
Okay, hold it right there. You should keep the person, says Akwaba. And let's take a quick break. After the break, we talk about we take it a little bit inside, about beauty standards and say, in our upbringing, what are the things that contributed to how we used to look at the world and what's changed today. Welcome back to Mjolo with Refilwe, a show that's in your love life, coming to you into your living room. Now, I want to hone in a little bit on your relationships. We've been speaking candidly about looks and whether love is blind. And I didn't ask you about, your particular relationships that you are in, because you've now disclosed that you are both in queer relationships. Now the viewer's wondering, Akwaba saying, yeah, my partner and she, is there any real difference when you are dating on the gay spectrum and when you are having a heterosexual relationships? More so when it comes to, issues of relating, because people are always thinking about sex. So let's take that one out. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about relating to a person that's not, if you're a trans man, that's not fully, what's viewed as traditionally female. Okay. Yeah.
As for my relationship, I might be a man, but she can do all the wifely things. I can be responsible for all the manly things. But Masingeni Cameron, we are both the same. No one, we are not labeling anyone that you are the father, I'm the mother, whoever. But Masingeni Cameron, we are all equal. Because the moment that I only make her happy, that means ngizophume in your favor outside. So I will not love that. So the time that I date, the time we meet, at first I will tell you that as for me, Standosam, I can spoil you. I can do anything that you want as a woman, as my queen. But Masingena Lap, we are all equal. Because I discovered that that's why Ubona Amadoda, they end up going and buy sex outside the marriage. Why? Because there are certain things that you don't do ending. Because you are afraid that they're going to call you Isfebe and all those stuff. But I always tell my wife, let's be wild here.
Let's be equal. What you're talking about is satisfaction. Yes. So can you both, reach a climax? Can you both, be ready to do different acts on one another, as opposed to one leading and then the other one passively following? Yes. Is that what you are?
Yeah, that's right.
Akwaba?
Okay, with relationships, the way people see them, it's not what actually happens. For instance, they will see, okay, these are women, they do this like this, but that's not the actual factor. So you don't know what happened behind the doors.
Yeah, because people's view, right, of queer relationships is maybe what they see like online and, depicted in stories, but they don't really have a real life view.
Yes, and they ending up like insulting it.
Yes,
that's what ends up happening, because of they have this perception that
it's
what
less
you guys doing is wrong.
Yes.
You understand? Like there's this other time, this other girl said, I don't understand lesbian sex because to me it just appears as foreplay. And to us, it doesn't appear like that. So, so with relationship, it's not how they see it, but it's how we feel it. And when it comes to sex, it's all in the mind. That's why if you're not okay mentally, it's not possible to do it right.
No.
So it has to be in the mind before you even go to do it. So if I got interested in a woman, meaning I'm ready to be with a woman even in a bedroom, and it is all in my mind. You see, yeah.
And have you always identified as such? Have you always been, dating Fuch, like you said? And have you always been dating women?
Okay. With me, actually, the woman I'm dating is my first woman.
Wow. Okay.
I was dating men before, but I have been looking for a relationship with a woman. But I had this thing, Uguti, I'm big. So it's not easy to find somebody that will be interested in me that is a woman. So it was easy to get men. Not that I wanted to be in a relationship with men, but because of it was easy to actually have a boyfriend than having a girlfriend. So when I met my girlfriend, it was what I've always been looking for. Yes.
So you felt free to explore?
Yes, I felt free even on our date. I was even telling my friends that I've never felt so free on a date. I've never felt so free when we're going out. I've never felt so free when we're in a bedroom. Because of now, when I was with a man, I felt like I had boundaries. You understand? And then now when I'm with a woman, everything like is flowing. You see, I become myself basically. I become me without like any filters. So with a man, like you have to pretend, you have to filter it out that okay, it's fine. Although you feel like no, I wish we cannot cross this boundary, but you just let it happen because of it's how it has to happen.
Were you feeling like, in order to sustain the relationship, you have to almost hand him his manhood or make him, feel more like a man, and then your needs are not being prioritized?
Yes, it's like now you are giving in without getting.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
Yeah, in the bedroom. I understand you. I understand you a lot. And that's where, actually what you said a few words back about your perception was because of your size, that you felt like women are not gonna, because there are a lot of people who actually think like that.
Yes, that's what I thought as well.
You're not alone.
But I realized that that's not happening.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying what we see is not what's actually happening.
Yeah, it's not actually the reality. So does that now make you want to share with people, how they need to broaden their dating? Because, there's this thing like, it's either you're straight or gay, but there's the argument that, sexuality is fluid and there's a wide spectrum. What is your comment on that, Donwell?
My comment on that one is just clear. Because as for me, like now, I can date someone who is in a heterosexual family, right? Because if I don't come to you and tell you that I'm a trans man, how will you identify me as a queer? If I'm not putting this rainbow thing, maybe someone might not even understand you. They will just see it as a normal thing. Yeah. So if I don't come to you and tell you that I'm a trans man, you won't even notice that I'm a transgender. So I believe people should stop this. Are you straight? Are you left? We are all human beings, as far as I know. That's the message that I can just say it. We are all human beings. It doesn't matter whether I'm gay or not, whether I'm queer or not. And like you said, sex is just an exchange of fluids. How those fluids are coming out, I don't think it's somebody's business. It's just something that is too private for people. So I think people, they just have got this mentality, African mentality that we have. But to me, it doesn't work.
I think I've enjoyed learning from the two of you. I think you've left the viewer with quite a lot to think about. And I wish you well in your relationships. I'm hoping, maybe I'll score an invite to that wedding. Now, to you at home, you've heard what our guests had to say when it comes to looks, love being blind, and dating on the gay spectrum. It always starts with self-love and being secure and being okay with your own decisions, because then what others have to say or judge from that doesn't really affect you that much. Remember, beauty standards are for a realm that doesn't really exist. In reality, people come in all shapes and sizes, and all of us deserve to truly be loved. So I hope you give yourself a chance by dating outside of your type and believing in yourself that you are beautiful just the way you are. That is all we have time for on Mjolo with Refilwe this week. Same time, same place next week. Hi, Bebo Roko.